Welcome, sashiBOOM. Bam, bam, bam. Wait, I need an air horn for sashiBOOM. Oh, Jesus, it's loud. I had to turn up the volume because Sashi's quiet, so I had to turn up my PC
I'm
volume.
quiet. I can turn it up. How about now? Is it
Oh,
better?
yeah, it is better. It is
Okay.
better.
Okay. Hey everybody. Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes. Hello,
Okay.
y'all's. Anybody who's coming in to say hi to Sashi, thank you for coming in here. And again, hopefully the popping is worse for me than it is for y'all. And Sashi, I'm so happy to have you here today. And
Yeah, I'm looking at your face, but you're like late, so it's weird.
I know. I know. My computer doesn't want to handle the stream plus face cam plus running
Oh
OBS
really?
virtual. Yeah, it does not like it. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I
But
only have 16 gigs of
hi.
RAM, so I think that's why. Um,
Hello. Okay.
oh, so they don't hear the popping. That's so weird. So
Okay.
that's all
That
right.
is weird.
That's very weird. Okay. Well, all
That's
right.
weird.
I'm happy with that though. I guess I
Uh-huh,
made it a
uh-huh,
thing.
uh-huh.
I didn't realize. But okay.
How are
So
you?
how am I? How dare
Mm-hmm.
you? You're the first person to come on here and say, "How are you?" No, but thank you for asking. I'm good. I'm busy. You know how it is.
Oh yeah.
With
Mm-hmm.
all the
Mm-hmm.
things, I'm very busy, but otherwise very good. Kind of working our way to getting back to doing live gigs. We have our first live gig in over 2.5 years in 1 month from today.
I've how that feels. Live gigs, like people.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
But it's going to be outdoors. All of our shit's outdoors until October. We have one indoor gig booked in October, like Halloween gig. So we're playing it
indoor.
super
That's
safe.
scary.
It is
Okay.
scary.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see how it
All right.
goes. We'll see how it goes. But actually that's part of what I wanted to ask you about. So obviously there's so many reasons why I wanted to have you on my little Acco Taco About It segment. Um,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and also your crop is bothering
Thank you
me.
for
So,
having me, by the way.
oh my God, of course. I am
My what? My what is what wedding?
the crop that I have on your screen. I'm going to fix you a little bit. I'm
Oh,
like, I'm
okay.
so picky
Am I
about the
like
crop. Now yeah,
Oh, I feel
it
you.
was too
Like
much
she's not in
headspace.
the middle.
It was
She's
too
not in
much
the middle.
headspace. Yeah. Now it's better. It's better. But yeah, so first of all, I only ask people on the Acco Taco About It segment if you've inspired me in some way. And that is, I think that you were one of the first people who came into my stream, or you were lurking or whatever, for a long time. And the person who put you on my radar was actually Damonarchy. Um,
Really?
yeah. He
Hi, Day.
Yeah. So when I was planning the Rainbow Railroad 1 year ago,
Mm-hmm.
I think the event,
Oh shit.
yeah. So it was literally, I think it was the 18th of June. So I'm talking 1 year ago. I was in the planning process, and the literal response was so great that I couldn't work myself into my own raid train. Um, and then I think that we're in a private Discord server, like a safety server, for streamers. And I know that was how I think you messaged me, because I had it set to where I think just somebody mutual, like in a Discord, could message me. Um, and yeah, D also was like, Sashi's gay. Go say hi at some
Ash is
point.
gay. Let's say hi.
And
All the gays together.
yes. And
Okay.
so you had messaged me and you're like, please let me know if I could be a part of this. And I was like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I have to say no to somebody. First of all, I was appalled that I had to say no to somebody, but I wasn't even in my own raid train. Um,
I think
it was wild.
I think Nyx told me
Okay.
to reach out to you. I don't remember, but like, hey, this girl is someone told. I'm pretty sure it was Krista.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was like, this girl is doing a rainbow ray train or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For the
I don't
Rainbow
remember,
Railroad
but
in
like,
Canada.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, that is cool. That's cool. Oh
So
yeah.
that's like when I became privy to you. But I do know that you had said that you were lurking a lot in my streams. And when I
Mhm.
started showing up in your stream, you're like, how dare you? Because I don't know. I don't know when you started lurking in my streams, and then I randomly won merchandise from you. I won
I, oh,
those
yes,
pics.
the postcard. The postcard.
Yes. And I
The
as
pic. Yes.
yes, I want to actually frame it, to be perfectly honest with you. They sit on my desk. I want to
I
frame them
mean,
though. But it was just it's interesting. What happened? What?
The sticker.
Oh, the sticker. I'm like, wait, what? What are you laughing at? Yes.
it's right here.
Yes, we sent you stuff. And so I played the K-Bye video also right before you were on because
I saw it. I saw that.
I can't give you enough props, and we worked
Aw,
really
thanks.
closely
Thank
together. And every version. So y'all, when we were working on this K-Bye video, she sent us a couple sample things, and I showed it to the band, and they loved every single different version. And so I unfortunately didn't have a lot of direction to give to Sashi because we loved every single thing that you did. And you would send a test, and we were like, yes, that. And you're like, okay, but like this or this. And the answer was always like, yes. Like,
Yeah. This is this, but this is also this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. You're a pretty easy client, I must say.
yeah. And you
I
understood.
don't have that many, but
You understood the assignment, and that's what we loved about working with you on that. And it just turned out really brilliant. And every time I play it,
I'm glad.
yeah, every time we play it, I have to give you mad props, and so I hope that it, leads to more people being like, I love this work, like all the music videos you do and stuff. Ooh, what are you drinking? I need to know.
So Lauren Biscotti OG was just here.
Mm-hmm.
Like she visited from she drove from Indiana, and then she brought a beer that I cannot get here. I'm sure you can get it over there. Can you get it over there?
We can't get it in Michigan. You have to go to Ohio.
Ah, yeah, because I think it's like the East Coast and a little bit. So I was when she came, she was like, when she was planning, she was like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "Oh, get me freaking Youngling because we can't get it here." And also, she got me this from Disney.
Oh my
Look
goodness!
at that.
Look at that. Would you look
Right.
at that? That's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Well, although look at Disney though. Look at the tag. This is very unnecessary.
Oh my
right?
god. What the?
Come on.
That is a whole lot of
It's too
taggage.
long.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's so funny. So getting kind of into a conversation with you, I knew it'd be very, very easy to talk to you today, but I actually do have like legitimate questions for you. There are things I still don't know about the sashiBOOM.
Oh my god. I am
Matalo
not
music.
scared. Go for it.
I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. Matalo, new friend. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. Please let me know if I'm saying it right.
Disney giving you a whole life story. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
In several languages too.
Yeah.
I think like you know what? You know
Okay, I
what?
can
I
read.
think it was made in CVS or something. You know what I'm saying?
Ah! 100%. 100%. So did he kill off all the Yinglings? Do you think you're funny? Close enough. Oh yes, of course, Matalo, of course. You're very welcome. And so, like I said, Sashi and I are very, very familiar with each other's brands. We've worked together literally in the Fever to Tell stream team on workshops, and obviously we've worked together literally in creating a music video. But I actually don't know where the name sashiBOOM came from. Obviously, Sashi's your name, but
Boom.
where did the boom part come from? I don't know.
So it's a good question. I would love to answer. So when I've never used like my last name, my stage name that I've been using for all my life is actually Sashi Gandarum. Like if you look at my songs on Spotify, it's Sashi Gandarum, and it's a really like Indonesian name. Like it's very hard, to spell, and it's very hard to say for all people that are not from Indonesia. When I was trying, starting out Twitch and creating, the handle, I looked on other people's stream and I realized that people, it's an interactive thing. So the streamer actually like say your name when you're in the chat, right? So like hey, EBX Erin, or something like that. So I'm like, I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna make people try to like what you just did with Matalo, right? So I was like, how am I saying it right? Blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, people's gonna have a hard time saying my name. So I decided to figure something out. And me and my wife, when we got married, we got married in City Hall, and all the paperwork's in front of us. And they offered, if you want to change your name, you know, take each other's last name or whatever, you can do it now. But we looked at each other and we're like, I'm not sure I want, you know, my last name because of like, you know, my culture and it's just different. And do we want to take each other's names? I don't think so. All right, let's just keep each other's names. So we did that, but then every time we write something like Christmas card and whatever, we call ourselves the Boom Booms because it's our nickname to each other. Like, hey, Boom Boom, what's up? It's a cute pet name to each other. We're each other's Boom Boom.
Oh, that's adorable.
So that's how we signed our letters or Christmas cards. Love the Boom Booms. And then I feel like, you know what? sashiBOOM sound like a good one. So that's how the sashiBOOM came in. It's basically my newfound last name with my family. It's Katie Boom and Jedi Boom. So like that's where it's come from.
That's an incredible story. And I legitimately had to kind of dig to find questions I don't know about you. So I'm just like, I'm so happy. That is a really lovely story. And that you guys just walk around, hey, boom, hey, boom. Like, I love that. And is hopefully, I was going to hold off on asking about Jedi, but Joe actually just asked about Jedi. How is little Jedi Boom doing right now?
Jedi's doing fine. We had a little scare again this week. He was like throwing up for 30 minutes straight at 5:30 a.m. And we had to take him to the hospital and spend, of course, like several $100s again just to know that he's fine, basically. But his liver and his kidney is pretty much like fine now, but his liver is still like in a good number now, but it's not perfect yet. So it's healing in a way. But yeah, thank you for asking. He's recovering.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He's
eating. He's very active. But yeah, we have to take him on a leash everywhere now, not like just walk around in the yard because we don't know what it is. We still don't know. So it could be something in the yard. It could be anything. So we were like,
yeah.
But he's fine. He's
That's
doing
good.
great. Where is he?
That's good. I'm glad somebody else asked. I always get scared to ask that kind of stuff that may bring up.
It's totally done.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to put somebody on the spot if it's not going well, you know? But
hey,
I'm
Scotty.
yes, boom fam. That Chewbacca mask is too much. Too much. Too much. But I was lurking in that stream. And I love that you had a camera. I love that it started with the camera in the corner. And then eventually you're just like, fuck this. And you moved the camera over. Like, it's fine. Just put the couch in the camera. That made me laugh when I came back later. You were just like, oh, fuck that camera. No, it's not working.
Yeah.
Just move it over.
Yeah.
And so something else I legitimately, yeah, they did. Something else I wanted to legitimately ask about was how your career has developed into what it is now as a full-time streamer, because your career story is unlike anybody I know personally. So basically, as far back as you are comfortable going, you know, obviously, I know that it goes back quite a ways, but tell the people how your musicianship and how your career started out.
It is a very long story, but
that's okay. We got time. We got all the time.
I've been a musician all my life. Like, I am quite lucky that my family is used to having musicians in our family. So I didn't get, one of those kids that music will not make money. You need to have like a real job. It's a hobby. Like, I didn't get that growing up. So I'm pretty lucky with that because one of
don't die.
One of my mom's cousin is actually a well-known musician back home. So he's kind of a rock star. I'm gonna die. Hold on.
Yeah, don't do that. Get some water. Oh, look at that mini fridge. Stop it. And by the way, back home, for anybody who didn't catch it, back home is Indonesia, correct?
Back home is Indonesia. Yes.
That's what I was pretty sure. I want to get everybody on the same page. Lord.
The heck?
Don't you hate? They're just choking on your own spit. It's fine. Everything's.
This is gonna be the death of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hydration. It's all right.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
good.
Okay.
I'm good. So, I grew up with my beautiful wife.
Aw, bringing you water. Thank you, Boom Boom. It's okay. I'd rather you just get it. Get it. Juggalo's hydrating
Okay.
repeatedly. I'm going to hydrate with my
Thank
cider.
you, Juggalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, don't go for the Scotty. No. So yeah, I had a band since high school, and those people that I was. What is going on?
Fine. Oh no. I hate it when that happens. And then you're stuck.
I feel there's something like that over here.
Mm-hmm. Is it drainage?
Am I
Is
okay?
it that
Am I okay?
post-nasal drip?
Is it Jedi's fur?
Yeah, probably.
Jedi's hair. All right. I'm all right, Adaman. I'm all right. I'm all right. All right. So, I was in a band with the same people since I was high school. So since I was in high school,
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
until 2015.
Wow.
So let me just put it this way. I'm 36 years old, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right. So it was a long time ago. In 2015, I decided to move away from my city, which is which is Jakarta. I moved to an island next door, basically an hour and a half flight from Jakarta, which is Bali. You know, people know Bali more than Indonesia, to be honest. So I moved there, and I didn't leave the band. I was like, I'm just gonna move. You know, I'm done with the city life. I want to live in Bali, blah blah blah, in an island. I want to be an island girl. But it didn't work. You know, like it's hard to go back and forth if you're the leader and the lead vocalist, the
Yeah.
songwriter of the band, and you're not there with your band. Is very hard. So eventually I left the band and I started to do music on my own, which I've never done all my life. So I've never done solo. I played the guitar, but I've never really learned how to play the guitar. So it was the big shift of life that I had was that year in 2015. So I kind of like learn how to do it on my own. It's not even looping yet, but it's just be confident in front of people, holding my guitar, playing by myself, and make money out of it. And I did that for a couple of years, maybe like 3 years. I learned how to loop with a really small looper, the Boss RC3, that I eventually give to Mandy Prater.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. Because when the community bought me the RC300, I was like, oh, this is not doing anything, and I was talking. Mandy's one of my first Twitch friends, and I was like, do you want a looper? I'll mail it to you, and then I did. And then and in 2018, I found out that you can be a musician on the cruise ship, so I tried that, and from the process was I applied until I was in Miami. It's about 2 months, so it was really fast. So like, oh, do you want to apply? And I applied, and they were like, okay, interview, blah 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 blah, and this is all remote. And then they basically sent me a ticket. I'm like, okay, you got a
Wow.
contract. This is your contract, 6 months long contract. So leave everything, and go to Miami, and then I met my wife there.
So you met your wife on
my
a
first
cruise
project.
ship.
Yeah, she was actually my next door neighbor. Like our cabin in the cruise ship is smaller than my studio. It's very, very small.
Yeah.
And then she was the aerialist. She's the circus artist on the ship, so she lives right next door to me. So like we stumble up on each other all the time, like going in and out of work. So that's and since then everything what happens after you already know. 2020 pandemic, I got stuck, and Twitch happened. I got lucky.
So did you do the
You
cruise
guys.
ships for like a whole 4 years? Like, was the pandemic the reason you stopped doing cruise ships?
Yes. So
Gotcha.
I did I did a 2018 was my first contract, February 2018, and
Okay.
then I left in 2020, like in the beginning. They sent me home from France in the middle of the pandemic. So I was
Wow.
there when the airport was like dead. So I experienced that flying home from France to Indonesia. They didn't want to fly me here because I
Oh.
didn't have an immigration status back then. So they had to
Oh.
flew me back home to Indonesia, and my wife is here. And we did that for like about 6 7 months, and
Oh.
until we were like, you know what, I'm just gonna fly over here because our marriage is not recognized back home. So
Mm.
at least here I have some rights.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know about any of that. Like legitimately, I'm totally ignorant when it comes to like the laws of Indonesia. Is
Oh.
is
Mm-mm.
was that part of why you left, I'm sure? Like it feels like a
Yeah.
dumb
Yeah.
question,
Yeah.
obviously, but even if you
Um,
hadn't met Katie, would you have left anyway for those reasons?
I already left. I did leave.
Yeah, that's
I
fair. You did.
was,
Yeah, cuz you met yeah,
living on a cruise ship is a form of leaving,
that's
like
fair.
because you live on cruise ship 6 months at a time, and then you go home for 2 months, and then you can like just stay with your parents or like stay somewhere with your friends, and then go back on ships for another 6 months or whatever.
That makes sense.
So it's just that is like I realized that when I turned 30, I realized that what I want to do in life is I want to see the world, and it was always difficult for me to do that because I've always been a musician. You know how it is to be a freelancer. You don't have a pay slip to
Nope.
prove that you have money, right? You never have money. And also my passport is an Indonesian passport is really really weak. Like you have to apply for visas ahead of time to go to anywhere in the world, most anywhere in the world. So it's very difficult for me to travel financially and like legal like
Mhm.
visa problem, something like that. So when I found cruise ship, I was like, oh, I this is what I've wanted in life. If I want to travel, I want to be happy, and traveling makes me happy. I've seen the world. I went to like 40 different countries in the span of like not even 3 years. Um, and then I got stuck in Nebraska.
And then Nebraska.
Nebraska, of all places.
Just landlocked. That was one of the first things I think I picked up
Yep,
from your brand. Hey, I'm an Indonesian streamer and I'm landlocked in Nebraska. Like that was,
landlocked.
yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I mean, I always believe that everything comes to a reason, and in every bad story, there always like a rainbow at the end. And I'm stuck in landlocked Nebraska, but I found like the whole entire world through my two monitors. So it's eh,
yeah.
it's okay. It's
And
life.
yeah. And it's honestly Twitch is like the biggest stage you could ever have. You could accidentally have thousands and thousands. We've both experienced that. 20,000
Hmm.
people from everywhere all over the world and it's something I never even imagined. It's something I didn't know existed.
Hmm.
I just thought you had to get lucky and get onto an arena package. Like you're
Hmm.
opening up for Pink or something who sells out arenas. That's how you
Yeah,
get seen by that many people. So the fact that Twitch is that for both of us in that way is just
yeah,
incredible. And my
yeah.
dad had a really good question actually. Your band
Yeah.
that you had back in Indonesia, was it a cover band or an original band?
We started as a cover band because we started, playing in cafes and in bars and stuff like that. But then I've always been a songwriter, and I have my guitar player at in that band is also like my you know Paul McCartney,
Yeah.
like is John and Paul, and then we wrote a lot of songs, and then finally I think our first single came out in 2009.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I have a full album with them. 2010 came out, and one of the like the catalyst of me moving out is that we were prepping for our second album in 2013, and my record label, I was with one of the biggest record label in Indonesia. They basically they keep postponing my release. They wanted to release singles, which is fine,
Mhm.
which makes sense. But then the my fuse just blew when I wrote a song, and I've always been I've never Indonesia is not a great place to be gay. But I'm not a person who hide, you know, like I am who I am, and if you ask me a question, I will answer. You know, like, are you gay? Yes. But if you don't ask me, I'm not gonna tell you out of respect of the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, but I wrote a song, and Indonesian language doesn't have pronouns, which is great,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's one pronoun for everything. But I do write in English, and I wrote a song in English, and it used the pronoun she and her, and then my record label want me to change them.
Mm.
You know, it doesn't sell. You cannot do this. Like, you need to change it to he. So I didn't. I changed it to baby instead of him, or like I managed. But that kind of stuck in me, and I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this, like, industry. I'm done with me having to hide. So that is one of the biggest reason that I want to move to Bali, because Bali is more it's full of tourists, so it's more acceptant, like,
Yeah.
it has more tolerance and stuff like that, because
Mm-hmm.
it's full of different cultures. It's not just Indonesian culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one of the biggest reason that I was like, fuck this shit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. And since that point, I was like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Good for you. Honestly.
Yeah.
That's incredible that you had to stand up for yourself, and I'm so very glad that you did. Yes, all the applause for Sashi. And what's funny is actually that wasn't the question that my dad had. I misunderstood the question, but it was still a great question.
It was the album are all originals. I'm sorry, I got carried away.
No, no,
I'm
no,
really
it's
bad at
okay.
this.
It's okay. That's what this is
Yeah,
about, is
all
getting carried
originals.
away.
Hmm.
That's awesome. And so when you did start doing the solo act on cruise ships, were you doing a little bit of both? What was your main gig on the cruise ship, meaning covers or
Oh, I
originals?
was just still covers, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, cruise ships was really hard to like
Yeah.
to do, because you're there as a bar musician, so you have
Yeah.
to do covers.
I didn't know
Sometimes
if
when
they
you have
might
a
let
little.
you slide in one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes when cruise ships are like 7 days long, right?
Hmm.
And in between that 7 days long, you'll gain tiny little followers. They will check the schedule, the entertainment schedule, and try to find where I'm playing. That's really cute. So like every day for 7 days, I see the same people, and sometimes they were like, "Do you write your own songs? Can you play it?" If they ask, I will play it. But if not, I would just play, you know, Fleetwood Mac all night long. But
That
I
sounded
yeah.
so
My
resentful.
limit is like, can you do Sweet Caroline? I'm like,
No,
absolutely not, sir. I'm so sorry. No.
no. Go to the dueling piano show if you want that. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. No, no Sweet Caroline. Nope.
That's fantastic.
But yeah.
That is that is absolutely fantastic. And honestly, you're one of the first people that I saw not well, okay, there's a lot of loopers on Twitch. Obviously, there's a lot of loopers on Twitch, but you can tell who the ones are who were looping before Twitch. You can tell. And you were one of the first people I saw who was comfortable looping. Like I must have caught toward the beginning of when you even started streaming. And you were
Mhm.
already like so fucking on top of it. And I still can't even use my feet for like one button for a looper. And I'm like 2 years into this. And so it was very clear to me that you have been doing this for a long time, even though you've changed devices and everything. And so my question that's related to looping is that in songwriting, do you find yourself writing loop songs, or does that even cross your mind? Obviously, "Shut the Fuck Up" is a loop song. Other than that, do you find yourself writing like that for loopers?
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, I since I was really young, especially since I started performing, my mind when I write songs, my mind is already ahead of me, and imagining how the song will perform, because
Mm.
I'm a I'm a performer by heart. So like when I write songs, that is like my mindset. Like even before I was looping, I was already like, how will this sound on a big stage, and how will, the how will the crowd will respond. Like it's already, I'm overthinking it sometimes. But since I've been a solo musician, it's getting easier. It got easier for me to write and to like imagine it, imagine the stage, because there's only one person and there's only me, so it's kind of like easier. And but still, whenever I write, I always imagine, how am I gonna do this on stage? If is it going to be easy? Is it going to be a looping? Is it going to... So since I've been looping, 3 of my biggest, by quote unquote biggest singles that I wrote that got received well are loop bass. Super is loop bass. STFU is loop bass, and then my song "The World as I See It" is also loop bass.
Oh, there's a Jedi man. It's the Jedi. Trish is screaming next to me that there's Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he said, "No, don't look at me. Don't look at me."
Go back to your place. Jedi, go to your place. Jedi,
oh, he backed up. Trish is screaming. Can you hear her screaming?
Yeah. Do you want a treat? Yeah. You want to say hi,
Hi,
Erin?
Jedi. Oh, look at that baby. Look at that baby.
Look at the hop.
I think Trisha's gonna die of cuteness overload.
Yes, I am dying. Oh my god, look at the Jedi.
Don't shriek into the microphone, please. She's shrieking. She's shrieking at the cuteness.
You want more? You want one more?
Oh,
Say hi. Hi.
He's so happy. Oh, I love it. I'm so glad he graced us with his presence.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. Oh, but that honestly though, that makes me so I didn't start looping till 2020 when I got onto Twitch. And I didn't I mean, I knew looping was a thing. There's a couple local artists I had seen who do cocktail hour events. They do the bar scene and they would loop. And I was like, God, that's so cool. Like, I have no reason to do that though. When you work in the corporate...
And you have a band.
Yeah, like I worked in the corporate part and then I have a band. So like, why would I invest in looping equipment? And so I was always like super jealous of people who just like could loop, but they were obviously doing it for a living. And so as soon as Twitch happened, I'm like, oh my God, this is my opportunity to start looping. And so none of my music is loopable. First of all, none of it.
Right.
Like I've never written a loop song, even since I've had the looper. You'd think that I would have learned by now that I should write some loop songs. I haven't, still haven't. But it's something.
Most of my songs, most of like I right now I'm actually having trouble writing songs without looping.
Interesting.
So I'm in that space right now. I'm in that weird space where I'm like, oh my God, how do I like, I sit in that couch by myself and I try to write and I couldn't write shit. And I sit here with my looper on my feet and I start looping like a phrase of chords and I'm like, oh, okay, this is SDFU. Like it's faster for me to do that. I think because I used to play in a band, so I understand arrangement. So that's why, like, I think that people that was in a band or is in a band is going to be easier to loop because you know how arrangement works. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, it's natural for you to loop now because you know how arrangement works. Okay, this is a layer, this is a layer, this is a layer, and you can totally see a person, especially on Twitch. You can see, like you said, like there are loopers that are obviously done it, perform before, and then I can totally see. I'm like, okay, she's never been in a band. There, he just learned how to loop. Like, you can see it, and you can see most of their struggles are layers. Yeah, because well, and it helps. We both have production history as well, experience. That's what I was looking for. Correct. Yes,
it was the same thing. And so, like, I went to school for audio production. Like, looping is so incredibly inherent to me, and we both have video editing. We're the same person, let's just face it. In a lot of ways, our experience, the things that we work on, even outside of streaming, they're quite similar. And so, yeah, our brains are wired to understand how to put together music and put together videos. And that's just not everybody's experience. And so I didn't start, unfortunately, till I saw other people doing it. And I was like, oh man, let me do something here. Let me get a looper. And Benji had a great question. Did you just decide to buy a looper? Did you see somebody who inspired you to buy a looper? And yeah, like how did looping come about for you?
Katie Tunstall is the first person that I'm like, I want to do what she does. How did you do that?
So does she loop live?
Oh yeah, Katie Tunstall loop. I remember the very first video I've seen of her looping. The very first video that I've seen anyone looping is actually Katie Tunstall did the Black Horse and Cherry Tree.
Okay.
In a little studio, and then in the same session she did I Want You Back. She looped I Want You Back. This is years ago, way before Ed Sheeran come about.
Yeah.
You know, like people are like, oh, you loop, you must like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Or Tash Sultana. I'm like, I adore Tash Sultana. I'm not a big fan of Ed, but he's amazing, but I'm not a huge fan of Ed.
Yeah.
But Katie Tunstall is the one that actually like, how do I do that? And then when I started to do solos, my very first pedal that I got is actually not a looper. It's actually my harmony pedal.
Oh, I'm so jealous of the harmony pedal.
Harmony.
Yes. I want a harmony pedal.
Yeah, so before this harmony pedal, my previous harmony pedal is VE2. The previous one was VE20. It's also a Boss.
Okay.
And the VE20 has a dual function. Like the right pedal is a harmonizer and the left pedal is a looper. So it's a but I don't use the loop. I didn't use the looper. I use it for harmony. And but the feature was there, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. And the first song that I've ever looped was Daft Punk. Something About Us.
Oh, I don't know that song.
The right time, you'll never be the right one. I think I have a video on YouTube the first time I ever performed that song looping. With that pedal, the one that has a harmony.
That's awesome.
So that's how I started looping, because I played guitar and sing on my own in front of people, and because I grew up in a band, it's just not enough for me. You know?
Yeah.
So I always want something more. So that's why.
Yep. I grew up with way too many harmonies around me to not have harmonies around me now.
Exactly.
It kills, like, and even in EBX, one of our background singers had to kind of not leave for a bad reason, but just other things came up. Obviously a pandemic happened too, but just different career paths and stuff. And so basically Jen was my only all the time harmony, and she is still my only consistent harmony, and the other guys do the best to keep up, and they do a really great job, honestly, because they're holding it down in a whole other way. But it's so sad when I hear those 4-part harmonies that I put on the record that I can't recreate on stream either. I don't have harmony left. I know they're like, put it on your throne.
You know what? So, like, the beauty of the VE2, if you want to get a harmonizer, get a VE2. Like, I will recommend it with my whole heart. I think Mandy Prater just got one, too. Because it reads the instrument that you're playing.
Yeah.
I think it reads piano, too. But, like, with my previous one, you need to change the key every time. So it's not auto.
Oh.
With this, like, it's just with a press of a button, whatever my hand is playing on my guitar, it reads it. So, like, it's basically... It's amazing, and I think few streams ago I was like I was playing a song and it didn't work, and I was like panicking for about like 2 minutes because like, you know, like, this is the last thing that can happen to me. My looper can break, but my harmonizer, I need you in my life.
That's funny. Yeah,
but
I'm gonna have to.
It wasn't broken. It wasn't. It's fine. I just pressed something that I shouldn't.
That's the worst.
Anyway.
And then you panic and you're like, okay, you can't unpanic. You're already flop sweating.
Yeah.
But you're like, nothing's broken.
Like, I just put the balance all the way down. I'm sorry. That was stupid. So I was like, yeah.
I literally just I do that all the time with my keyboard. And if I can't figure out what the fuck I did, I just turn it off and turn it back on again. I'm like, nope, I quit. I'm turning it off and turning it right back on again. And you said it's a Boss VE2, right?
I already have it open.
Boss VE2.
Trish already has it open on
just has
her.
it open.
She's
Yeah.
sold out
Go get it. It's
everywhere
like
too
one of-
right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's sold
when people
out.
ask me, like, I have like plenty of pedals underneath my foot.
You have
right now, right under my
tons.
desk.
Yes.
I have tons, and if people ask, what is your favorite pedal? Like, some guitar player or some like loopers will be like, oh, it's a hard thing to pick on. For me, nah, it's not. It's not my looper. It's my harmonizer. Loopers are great, but like, loopers is just that. If you
Yeah.
if you don't know how to use it, looper is just a looper. You don't need a big looper to do what you do.
Mhm.
I looped with a one-track looper for 3 years before I got my first RC300. So,
That
and
is
it worked.
that is stressful. I fuck up my loops constantly, and I'm like, nope. if I had one level or one layer, I mean, I would just be stressed out all the time. I'd be crying regularly.
I think that's what makes that was the training that I needed to be
Yeah.
a good looper, is because I only had one track.
That's
So
tough love
no
right there.
mistakes.
Yeah.
So like, you have no room for mistakes. If you make a mistake, you just have to like stop and tell everybody, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it from the top. But now I have the RC600 have 6 different tracks.
Mhm.
So sometimes I forgot that I have 6. I only use one.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, I can put this in another track, But yeah, you just I think for me, like, when people ask, like, how did you learn how to do all those layers, I'm like, well, I have 3 years with one track looper, so I think that was the best training that I could get.
Yep.
The no option, no room of errors, basically, is how I got better.
Honestly, though, that's the best thing you could have
Yeah.
done accidentally.
Yeah.
Because I'm so spoiled by the 505.
Exactly.
I'm incredibly spoiled. And then if I'm doing like a new song and I've already filled up all 5, I'm like, oh man, if I mess up whatever I do on top of something else, that undo button has become my favorite friend. But I didn't know how to use the undo button for like the first year I had it. I just kept forgetting how to
Okay.
use it.
Oh,
And
girl,
I know.
that is hilarious.
I couldn't figure.
No,
I just
yeah,
kept forgetting.
Yeah, this is also a funny story now that you mention it. I
Please.
had that one track looper for 3 years, 2018. No, wait, more than 3 years. I got it 2016, and I got my RC300 last year because my community bought it. So like
That's 5 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like those 4 years, whenever I fuck up, I always delete all and do it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave that looper to Mandy Prater, and then within a few days, she told me there's an undo feature on that looper.
Yeah.
I did not know that it has an undo feature in that looper for 4 years, and Mandy figured out in 2 days. I was like, "There's an undo feature there?" Well, yeah, you just do this. I'm like, "What?"
So yeah, we're the same person.
4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that checks out. Wow.
And Prater was like, "You didn't know?" I'm like, "No, I did not know."
But it made you who you are today now, bitch. Like that's, you know what?
It was hilarious, though.
Yep.
It was
That-
hilarious.
That is fantastic. Oh, Trish accidentally re-announced the Boss VE2. I mean, it's fine. Announce it. It's a cool pedal.
I forgot I had it copied, okay?
It's okay. What she was trying to announce was the pre-save of your next
Oh, thank
single.
you so much for that. Yeah, my new single's coming up, and I'm really excited about it. And
Honest-
Alana Maddie helped me produce.
I
She's a
saw it
producer.
in your story, I think, maybe, that you were saying like
Mhm.
last day of production. Why not? I
She's
was going to
probably-
say, why don't we talk about
Yeah.
that? I love it.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite people that I've worked with musically, like
Mhm.
because it was scary at first because I always have my go-to guy, like, as my engineer. Like, I
Mhm.
produced as much as I can on my own, and I send it to him, and then he will like fix it and make it prettier, like SDFU. SDFU was
Mhm.
already like that from the beginning, but I sent it to him and he made it better,
Yeah.
basically. Because I'm not that kind of producer. I don't have that technicalities. So when I decided to do this song, it's a cover of a song by Muna.
Mm.
And it's about safe space. It's about having a safe space and being a safe space. So like, it's kind of like my plan was to release it during Pride Month, and I am collaborating with Squid 0044, which is a game streamer. She's a queer game streamer. So my mission right now is just to I wanna mix. I wanna try to bridge the queer gaming community and our community music.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna limit. I wanna like eliminate the people coming to our stream saying there's music on Twitch.
I
Like that's my
know.
mission right now. Like
Exhausted.
exhausting. So
Yeah.
there's still so many people who doesn't know that music exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Squid from the beginning, I love her. She's the reason that I'm on Twitch actually. Like she's the reason I have a Twitch account because I was playing video games and I found her on the internet and I followed her and I make a Twitch account because I
Mm-hmm.
want to follow her. And then months later I found that there's music on Twitch. So I have a queer collaborator and I was like, okay, like who should produce this because like, my guy friend is, he's a straight man and also he's very busy. He works on cruise ships. So like
Oh.
working when you're on a cruise ship is very, very difficult
Yeah.
because the internet is expensive and stuff like that. Um, so I was like, I've always want to work with Alana, and she has time. And I asked her, and she was like, yeah, okay. But even after she said yes, I still like, I don't know if I want to like, I don't know if I'm ready to open up with a new working relationship because it's hard. It's hard to like create something with someone you don't know. You
Yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad I did because she's super easy to work with and she's just so super smart and then just super detailed with everything. And we did a couple back and forth producing it, like she sent me like we did,
Yeah.
like like
Mhm.
I'm sending a draft, blah blah blah, and then up to like draft 50 something, and then we call it final. But we finally did one session where we just both sit while she works. I was just a fly on the wall watching her work and then like giving her like idea and stuff like that. And it worked out very well. And then I'm like, and Alana's like queer as well. So I
Mhm.
feel like if there's a person to create a song that has a really, really deep, full meaning to me, it would, I need to make the people that work on it, that is who the people who are a part of this needs to embodied the message as well. And then
Mhm.
I think having Alana produce the song is just it's basically the best decision I've ever made. And then she's fucking brilliant. She's a wizard. She's just so humble about it too. It's ridiculous.
Aw. No, I love her. I was just talking about her earlier, actually. Because
Yeah.
I was popping in. I was trying to help her find a place to play in Detroit. Because
Oh,
she
nice. Okay.
may or may not be coming through here. And it's so
Yeah.
hard because I was like, damn, I wish we could play a show together. But that's like the opposite of what
Oh
we
yeah,
are.
for sure.
That would be the worst
Even with me.
match. Yeah, it's like, oh God, that'd be the worst match musically ever.
Or you should do a solo show, Erin.
I could potentially. I haven't done that in
Mhm.
over a decade. I haven't done a solo show since, since 2009.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
since
I mean,
over a decade.
no, I mean, you know what? You're doing a solo show right now.
That's fair. That's fair. But in real life, I haven't done a solo
Like, yeah,
show.
for sure.
Because-
It's terrifying.
yeah.
I understand.
I would take all of this shit with me. I'd be like, well, I need my looper and I need my keyboard and I guess I need a tambourine and this kazoo. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I would literally take
No, it's
everything.
terrifying. Yeah.
I would do it though. I have said that. I'm like, if all else fails, I could make a living as a solo artist. I don't know how much I would like it, but I could do it.
I'm the total opposite. I'm like, I am never ever gonna go back to bands ever again.
Yeah. Well, and our experience
I'm
was
like, I'm
totally the
done.
opposite. Was that you grew up in a band?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, and I grew up performing solo in talent shows, and I did grow up in one band, church-wise. I was in the praise band in like all of high school, basically. But also that's different when you're literally your only job is to go to rehearsal one night a week and play Sunday morning. That's a totally
Right,
different
right.
thing. You have to learn how to play well with the team, per se, but at the same time, it's definitely not the same grind. It is not the same thing. And so I think that's why I didn't have a band all of my own until 2016. So we literally have opposite experiences in that way.
Yeah.
which is really interesting. And now I'm like,
It's
I don't want to do all this myself. Like when I started
right.
streaming, 2 hours was a long time. I was exhausted at the end of
Oh.
2 hours
Oh yeah.
because I didn't
When
perform
I
by
was
myself.
Yeah, when I first started streaming, whenever I see like Matt Walden or like Emily McVicker or Lana Maddie, all the big partner streamers, and I'm like, how are they doing 4 hours? I
Yeah.
don't understand. And then months later, I was doing like a 6 hour stream, no big deal. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't anymore. I'm tired now. Like I'm
Yeah.
getting old. Like my mods already know, like, Sashi, you're starting to stutter. It's starting to hit like the third hour. You're already stuttering. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. My sweet spot, I was
You need to
going for
stop.
5 hours for months.
Right.
And I had to
Right.
literally tell Trish, I had to tell people around me, I was like, I cannot do that. Even if I'm on screen and I think I'm okay, I have to tell myself and understand I'm not going to be okay. Like if I'm
Yeah.
going over 4 hours, there better be a good reason, basically. As I sit here and the clock rolls at 4 hours exactly. But 4 hours is 4 to 4.5 hours is like the maximum for me, unless there's a special event or you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Or like a big fat raid coming,
Right.
like at the end of your last song. Like,
Yes. That's the best when you get like 400 people dumped on you and you're like, "Hi, I'm tired and my voice sucks. Welcome. What do you want to hear?" And at
Yeah,
that
it's true,
point, I
it's
just pick a song. I'm like, "You don't get a choice. I'm going to pick something that
Oh,
works
yeah,
for my
for sure.
voice." Uh,
Yeah.
And that's why I started putting the hours I intend to stream into my title. And it was to, I
Oh,
know that
really?
it sounds terrible, but it was to start warding off people from raiding in the last, the final moments of a stream. It hasn't worked. Um, it might, I mean, maybe it's worked, to be fair, I guess. It's happened a couple times.
Awesome.
It's happened a couple times still,
Yeah.
but I have to believe that some people have looked at the title and been like, oh, no, they're at 3 hours and 48 minutes. Maybe let's not do that.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think, like, you know what? I start to think that the streamer that came rate us understands, because they just finished their stream too.
yeah.
So whenever I'm like, this is the last song, I don't care who comes after this. I don't care. I will say it out loud, like, look, I don't care who comes. This is my last song. And some people came, and then I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna take you somewhere else that y'all can,
Yeah.
have fun. So like I think like it's important, to recognize our own like limit is very important.
And
It's
that's
very hard to do, but it's very important.
it's so hard. And actually that was a lovely segue you didn't even mean to do, which was how do you feel, because obviously boundaries, that's a part of it. And we have a couple more minutes until it's an hour, but how do you feel streaming has affected you mentally since you started streaming?
Well, that is kind of a unique situation to compare because I started streaming, not screaming. Well, screaming as well. I started streaming the first few months that I moved here, and it was still a lockdown,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like my mental health state was horrible. The only good thing about me at that moment is I am reunited with my wife, but I have no money and my wife didn't have any money. We both take loans. And it's literally like I went from almost less than $1,000 in my saving accounts basically when I moved here. And I had to figure things out. Like it was one of, I don't know if I've said this anywhere, but before I found Twitch, I was the kind of person who just go everywhere online and find any kind of like money opportunity. Like, like I will go to Amazon Associates, which is stupid because I don't have any other platform that is strong enough for me to like go do that, and then
Yeah.
I tried like, okay, what can I do? Translating, transcribing, you know, like that kind of thing. Even like go, what is it called? Like one of those surveys. Like
Yes.
I'm actually like online for hours to get like $15 to $20 a day. It was sad. I was in a very, very bad state financially and also mentally, you know. And then I found out through Squid. I didn't know her, but like because I watch her sometimes, like I think either Matt Walden or Emily McFicker was either one of those. I can't remember exactly, but one of them are my first music streamer that I actually stumbled upon, and I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
But then at that time I was already doing that on Facebook and Instagram, right? So like, but it's only for my guest list, my friend list, basically. So it was just a shit show at that time. And then the beginning of Twitch as well, I was just talking to my wife the other day. I stumbled upon my first paycheck on Twitch. It was like under like $200 because you have a $100 threshold, and you know, and I am right now. I can say that this whole thing here is my safe space. Like, you know, like I'm at the kind of mental state where if I am having a horrible day, I will talk to my mods and be like, I'm having a horrible day. I don't know how long I'm gonna go. And my mods always say like, just just start streaming. See how you feel. Because most of the time, as soon as I started streaming, I forgot about that. All of them. So, you know, I didn't grow up as someone who has a full whatchamacallit, education about how important mental health is.
Yeah.
Back home, culturally, we don't really touch on that. You know, so I started to understand how a mental health is important since I met my wife. And it's really weird how these people that you've never met in your life actually gives you more life. You know what I'm saying? And I think even if I'm having a fight with my wife, you know what I'm saying? If it's normal, it's a marriage, you have fights. And I come here and then it's just gone. And then I finished streaming and I came to her and in a in a better mood, and it actually helps. And I cannot say it otherwise. I will not say it otherwise. Twitch has been really my oasis this entire time, and it's actually making me feel extra terrified to go back to real life gigs or work with real humans. It's actually not very good, but it's like I'm very comfortable here, and it's really good for my mental health. It's like therapy for me.
Yeah. And I've said that to other people too, is that I think that's a big difference between performers and non-performers, is that Twitch music is the place that we have to go to make it till we fake it. Or no, other way around. Fake it till we make it. And then at the end of the stream, we actually somehow feel better. Yeah. And I can't say that there's any other, is there any other quote job that does that for people? Does somebody go to, their bartending, for 12 hours and then come home feeling better? Fuck no. Like, this is the only thing I can think of that actually is legitimately helped my mental health in that way.
But what if you work with like 12 golden retrievers?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's
okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Depending on the type of animal welfare job, because some of them can be very depressing. But the good ones, you're absolutely right. Touche, Sashi. Touche.
Just saying.
But yeah, going back to gigs is for me it's a different experience, because I'm going back to a band situation. I'm up, I'm
right.
headbanging, I'm dancing, I'm fronting a band, and that is so not this. Whereas you have a very different experience. This is what you do. And so I can see how that would be very, very stressful, because you don't want to go back to playing at that fucking wine bar down the street where people don't give a shit about you. We are so used to we're attracting incredible people that we become friends with. Like you said, these people we didn't know a year ago, 2 years ago, are now in our lives, actual friends, and who legitimately care about us. It's going to be incredibly hard. And I already told my band this. I'm not going back to doing shit shows where we're playing for 5 people. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't think that I can handle it. And the authenticity part, this is partly where you inspire me, is that you are so incredibly authentic. When I first started coming to your streams, it was just like, this person is doing the authenticity game justice, and doing it better than a lot of other people. You can totally see through it every once in a while. First, not you, but like for other streamers. And that's something that's really hard to fake once you go there. And so that's part of my anxiety about going back to IRL gigs is I don't know that I'm going to be able to fake any time that I'm not necessarily in the mood to fake it. And I think, I don't know, do you relate in that way?
I just don't have time for that anymore. Like,
Yes.
I'm just being completely honest with you. Like I said, like, since I moved to Bali, I was like, I don't, like, my time of giving shits have ended. And like, some streamers would like their private life to be very, personal. They don't want to disclose anything. They have this persona on they have their stream persona versus their real life, which I totally respect. Like, it's everyone's game, like, everyone can be whoever they want. But for me, I just don't have any patience, and like, just I don't have time for that. And I feel like if I do that, if I have to be someone else in front of other people, it's just gonna be so exhausting. So I feel like if I want to be comfortable, if people want to be comfortable with me, which is what Twitch is about, like, you have to manage, 100 something people to feel comfortable at your place. You have to be comfortable at your own place, because, like, I always believe that, like, a safe space begins in your skin. If you don't feel safe with yourself, you don't feel safe, within yourself to be yourself, like, people will not be safe near you. So I feel like, do I have time? Do I want to keep Katie? Do I want to keep my family, like, away from this? Like, I can't. I'm an extrovert. Like, I will tell you, what my life is. I have my puppy. This is my wife. This is my, that kind of thing. Like, I think that also helps with exhaustion.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like work. I just feel like I'm here. I'm singing because I love how to do it. I know how to do it well. I love to do it. And it's me. And people get to know me. And if they don't like it, they can just
leave. You see the door. It's called in a little X in the corner. Yep. Leave. I'm regularly saying that.
Exactly. So, like, it's like, there are many, 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 many mean people, like, are on Twitch. Like, it's still the internet. It's inevitable. But I always feel that we attract our kind. So, like, if you want to do, like, the filtering of people, of whatever, certain people that you want to attract, then be that person, I guess. Like, I can't really say anything else about. I don't think, like, all my life I've been having, like, another persona for a stage presence or something like that, because I can't.
Yeah. And
physically can't.
Yeah. And my whole life I spent being a different persona. It's been, the last couple years have been enlightening for me. I don't think I knew what kind of performer I was until I was able to let go of all of the corporate and wedding stuff. That was incredibly taxing for 10 years. And I couldn't truly be myself. I'm too queer and too edgy to be myself fully on a stage with a bunch of cisgender people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know exactly what I mean.
I started to, like, get a little bit, like, weird gothy tattoos. And my boss said, "That's aggressive." And I said, "Thanks." And I walked away. And that was like the first step. That was when I got my bat cat. And I was like, he didn't say much about it. What are you going to say? It's a tattoo. Like it's permanent, dude. But when I finally got away from it and I was able to distance myself, it was so incredibly invigorating and good for my mental health. And hi, Gary.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Hi, Gary.
yes. Gary's going to be on our show at the end of July.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk to Gary. But yeah, mental
Yeah.
health is hugely
Important.
important. Yeah. And to be fair,
think-
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. To be fair.
I was just going to say that you were saying earlier, like in Indonesia, they don't really touch on that. And the news flash for you is that in America, they don't either.
Yeah, but like
Nothing.
it's more common. It's more common to be open about it here, right? Like
Yeah.
in Indonesia, they will call like Joyce
Mm-hmm.
Lee
Yeah.
make a very good point because she's also brought up Asian,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the last Fever to Tell workshop about mental health, she mentioned something that actually like hit the right spot to me. She said, growing up Asian, my parents doesn't recognize depression. They just call
Yeah.
it laziness.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
All these, like, you know, it just makes sense. It just makes so much sense. And I feel also like culturally, and also Indonesia is a Islam majority country. You know, that's how I brought up. So it's not okay to have tattoos, to have a puppy, to have a wife. You
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah.
it's not okay. And I've lived in that little cocoon, or you know, like little
Mhm.
like oppressed. Is that the word for it?
Yeah.
Suppressed.
Oppressed. Yeah. Oppressed.
Oppressed. So I lived in that kind of thing for almost 30 years until I decided, like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be happy. But, like, you know, with who I am. And I think, like, the hardest part is just to get out of your comfort zone, to find of, you know, what is that? What is that little thing that will make you actually happy? And what is happy? You know, like, being with your partner, is it? Or like, you know, performing music, how? There's so many ways to get there. And then just, I am very lucky that I found it. It's not early in life to find who you are at the age of 30, but like it's not late either. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And I
Yeah.
100%,
I was just-
yeah, I turned 30. Well, I'm 33, so it's only been a couple years since I turned 30. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm totally on the same track as you. When the pandemic started, I was 31, and that's when I was like, oh God, this is my chance. I got to get away from this whole industry. And I was already kind of leaving it, but my boss was making it very difficult because when somebody wants you to stick around, they just start throwing more money at you. And so, but I had to keep saying no. And his company worked through the pandemic, illegal gigs, like where they were straight up breaking
wow.
mandates. And I kept saying no, which is a huge thing for me. I don't think I said no to this man more than a handful of times in a decade. So I just kept saying no, because as the pandemic progressed in 2020 specifically, people started talking about mental health more. And that was important for me to see. Like you've said, like we are talking about it. The whole, like the collective conscious is talking about it more now. At least here, I will say. In America, I cannot speak for, other Gary. But yeah, the fact that people are actively saying that it's okay to say no, it's okay to have boundaries. If you're uncomfortable saying no to somebody, check your boundary on that, because
It's hard. It's hard.
It's really hard. As I sit here wanting to talk to you forever, even though we both need boundaries. But it honestly, I really can't say more. I agree with you so wholeheartedly on the mental health stuff. It's so incredibly important. And I wish that, like, yes, as a culture in America, I guess we talk about it more, like by a long shot. But I still wish that it had been touched on when I was growing up. It wasn't ever a thing. It wasn't something I ever heard about. There was, of course, a school counselor there's always a school counselor, but like if you're going to see the school counselor, you're fucked up. Something's wrong. There's still something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It's
I
still
even,
fucked up.
yeah, therapy and talking about mental health is there's something wrong about you. That's why you're doing it. That's like the thing about it that makes me feel like, you know, I have my first therapist this year. So I'm still learning about, you know, mental health and about how it's different for everyone and everything. So I'm glad that you're one of the, you know, you're one of the streamers that highly advocating about mental health, and I am not one of them because I don't have an experience on it, you know. So I'm learning, you know, by talking to you about it, by listening to people like Carmela and Alana Maddie talk about burned out all the time, and I was like, what the fuck is burnout? I didn't know what it is. So like I keep listening to it, and I just the Twitch community also it's just a very unique place to learn about different types of people and different types of, you know, mental health like stuff or like jargons and stuff like that, lingos, and I'm still learning about it. That's why, like, you know, in our team Fever to Tell, like the last topic with mental health, but I explicitly told Joyce from the beginning, like, this is not my like area of expertise, so you need to take lead. I'm going to listen because like I am still like very slowly learning about everything, because I don't even talk to my mom about like feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, that's how crazy cultural differences here.
Yeah.
to be an Asian in the Western world is hard.
Yeah, I learned a lot about that in college, as stupid as that sounds. But I had a couple communication classes with foreign exchange students from Japan, and I learned a lot from those students. And I actually took Japanese for a year in college. I was kind of obsessed with Japanese for a minute and Japanese culture. But I learned a lot about that, and it explains a lot about the cinema, how you see emotions and people in general just out functioning in the public, how they're represented. And it's very eye-opening, and I'm glad that you're speaking about it. I didn't expect us to speak about that necessarily, but I'm really glad that we are honest. Yeah, repress everything. And D would know exactly too. And I'm so glad that people like you are out here representing and talking about it freely, because it just opens up a conversation. And for you, it might look like, you know, other people who were brought up either Asian here in America or in an Asian country coming out and saying, wow, you've changed my life and my outlook on that. And my version of that is being like a literal health advocate. I talk about my physical body, my autoimmune issues a lot, and people are like, holy shit, that's something that I've never been able to talk about. So thank you. And you're doing the same thing for a totally separate topic. So I want to thank you for doing that, because
thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sad because I couldn't make the last Fear to Tell workshop, and I still haven't watched the VOD. So don't delete that shit anytime soon, because I gotta watch it still.
I think I even reached out to you, right? Like, where are you? Why aren't you here? Because this is like something that I know that you would love to like talk about too.
We were at a family function that day, sadly.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't be here. But yeah, I don't want to go further past our boundary, because it did take us a second to get our audio together, but we're still past an hour.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me. I'm having so much fun.
I know. I could talk to you for another whole hour.
I know.
Thank you for the applause. So y'all, if you haven't used the dynamic follow button, you don't want to navigate away from this stream, please, there's a dynamic follow button. Oh, just point down. You'll be close. It's over there, and you don't even have to navigate away. You'll automatically follow Sashi on Twitch. But also, Trish just put both links that I wanted to share, which is her sashiBOOM on Twitch, and then sashiBOOM.com, which is where you will find all of the things. It's a beautiful hub website, and has all of the links that you can possibly need for Sashi. And so before we go, final thoughts. Also, is there a release date for the next single?
Yes, June 20th.
Ooh, Monday.
crazy.
That's now soon.
Yes, it is on Monday, and I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be in Seattle for work on that next week, so I won't be streaming during the release date, which is idiotic.
Yeah.
But
Well, I thought you were going to say. I did not mean to agree with you.
No, it's idiotic. I was like, oh shit, why did I put that? Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna have an extra stream on Sunday for that because it's, you know how it goes. It releases like at midnight everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's not in one time zone. So if it's midnight at your time, then it's released. So like it's gonna be in a different time. But yeah, I'm streaming tonight. If you guys are not doing anything, please.
When do you start?
I start at 8.
Your time, 8.
8 Central. Yes. So in
In
2
an hour.
hours.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
No.
What?
2 hours. In 2 hours.
2 hours.
Wait. In 2
That's-
hours.
Okay. I would say it's 7 here. I looked at the clock wrong. I'm like, wait, what time is it? I'm so sorry. I did not mean to confuse you. Time zones are time
like,
zoning. Yeah, so y'all, please go check out Sashi. If I could stay on for another 2 hours to raid you, I would, but yeah,
Oh,
no, it
you
ain't gonna happen. No, I shouldn't do that. But y'all, please do
Boundaries,
go
Erin.
check out.
Boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. All of the good health boundaries. Y'all, please go check out. And sashiBOOM.com is probably the best place to find all of the things because you need to follow Sashi everywhere. She is a shit poster on Instagram stories. Y'all will not be disappointed by it every single day on Instagram stories. There's always something.
About Jedi.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's always good dog content on Sashi's Instagram and Jedi's Instagram. Yes, there's a separate Jedi Boom. We love
am
women
very
supporting
bad.
women. Yes.
I'm not the best content creator, but when it comes to Jedi, I can do it.
No, you're pretty good. There's a lot of people that aren't very good at posting, but no, you're pretty good at posting, honestly. Tweeting, maybe not so much, but Instagram, great. That was the first workshop we had. I said, socials, use them. And Sashi's like, shit.
Yeah. Shit, I need to learn. I need to learn how to TikTok.
Oh, TikTok is a little hard. I'm not going to lie.
In a minute, in a minute, in a minute. Everything's about that in TikTok, you know?
It's true.
About that song.
I just learned that
Hate
song.
that song. No, I love that song, but it just... I'm sorry. All right, you know what, guys? If that song is in my head, it's going to be in your head now. In a minute, in a minute, in a minute.
I only...
In a minute.
I did the same thing the other day, and the chat started typing the lyrics in so I could get it right. Because I'm like, I said, I'm going to need in a minute,
And pump me up.
This is what it sounds like when people in their 30s try to do TikToks. Anyway, I'm going to let you go.
I'm sorry. Okay. Bye.
Have a
Thanks, you
lovely
guys.
night. Thank you for being here, Sashi.
Bye, Trish.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, guys.